Good morning, or good afternoon, America. How is everybody doing? So I'm back home. I'm in South Florida from Washington, D.C. And I'll give this a second, as you know, people do, to allow the audience to build up. I'm actually currently working on the other computer over here, going through some of the video that I shot to edit that, to get that up on YouTube. First and foremost, I want to thank Scott Bensack for inviting me out to Washington for the March for America 2016. And regardless of the numbers of people that showed up or didn't show up, I thought it was a success. You see, everything starts with an idea. Everything starts as a small fire, and then it spreads until it's out of control. And that's what this movement is about, man. I mean, you know, I say it all the time. I do admire Donald Trump. There's no doubt about it. But, you know, for me personally, this thing has reached a magnitude where it's not so much about the man himself in my eyes. I've been to enough rallies that the message is clear. He wants the same things that I want. He wants the same things that most Americans want, you know, like we want to be able to hold people accountable in Washington. And it seems to be such a struggle to make that happen. And I just want to remind people, as there's progression coming, the warrant's been issued, 650,000 emails are secured for investigation. People are turning their back on Comey. And again, let me use this story, right? Like when we were hanging out at the bar, and a lot of you guys saw the video where Joe Biggs, myself, and a bunch of other guys were in this bar, and they refused to serve us because we were Trump supporters. The video that Joe shot went viral, right? It was being shared by people who work for the Washington Post. It was being shared by senators. It was being shared, I mean, I saw it on Milo's page. So it went everywhere. We're literally sitting in this bar, and the phone is ringing off the hook non-stop, to the point that they had to stop answering the phone. The owner was not there. The gentleman that worked at the bar, and I don't want to say the name of the bar, there's no need to go any further into it. He was. I'm pretty sure he was relieved of his duties. We witnessed that happen right in front of us. Now, see, here's the thing, though. The average person, right, or the average people could have easily said, well, we don't want no problem, we'll just leave. But the group of people that were there decided to stand up. You know what I mean? And pretty much tell them that what they were doing was a discrimination case. You know, and the power of the internet and the power of the people is real. So I say it all the time. That's why it's so important that everybody out there actually shares the information that you see come across the internet. Shares WikiLeaks. Do not stop for 1 minute to take your eye off of WikiLeaks, because WikiLeaks is what's actually gotten us to taste this success of where we're at now. So don't take your eyes off of WikiLeaks. Stay focused. Keep your head in the game. But the story, the reason why I feel like the story is important to tell you guys about, is because I was there to witness it myself. And I know from being at Trump rallies that there are people that they despise us. They actually hate us. And it's because of the way the media has spun this thing from the beginning. It's the way that people have adopted what the media spun and turned it into their own thing, right? Like I was in a cab, an Uber cab, with Ryan, and we're heading to the march. And the guy in the Uber cab is not from the United States originally, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not a xenophobe, believe it or not. But he's telling us about how great Obama is, right? Now, here's the thing. I personally do not like Obama, like with a passion. You know, he's a slick talker. Yeah, absolutely. He's a slick talker. You know what I mean? Like he's got the gift to gab. I'll give him that. He, you know, when he's in front of the people and until the teleprompter turns off, he can pop some jokes or whatever. But we were able to have this conversation, right, in his cab without either one of us like flying off the handle, cussing each other out, stopping the car to get out and physically fight or whatever. So by the end of this Uber ride, you know, getting out of the car, I do realize that, you know, that the human nature is that we can put our differences to the side. Now, with that being said, that's my mission at this point. You know, and now one other thing he brought up when we were in the Uber car that that kind of like really rode me a bit was he focused on the message of Make America Great Again. Now, obviously, he's not, I don't know what his ethnicity is, but he wasn't white or whatever that is. And I'd have to say that because this is where it's going with this. Like, everything comes down to race, correct? Okay, well, let's get to it. So he says to me, he says, I find the guy to be extremely scary because he wants to bring back racism. And I was like, well, how do you figure that, you know? And he's like, well, the saying "Make America Great Again" is actually scary. And then, of course, he and Ryan kind of talked about a couple of things, and Ryan had good points. And, you know, and like I told him, I said, I don't know if you realize this or not, but the terminology or the expression or the slogan or whatever you want to call it of "Make America Great Again" holds nothing of racism in its tone. No one's talking about bringing back horses and torches and riding through the woods to burn crosses. You know what I mean? Like, that has nothing to do with it. The idea of Make America Great Again is taking back the government and giving it back to the people. And when you say give it back to the people, a constitutional republic, you're not categorying anyone out. You're not singling anybody out. I mean, no one's exempt from the fundamentals of what America's supposed to be about. It's not saying, hey, white guys, here you go, we're going to give you back America. That's not what this is about. This is about ending the corruption that's taking place within Washington, D.C. And if you guys are living today in 2016 and you have this computer in your hand, in your pocket, then you were just as capable as I am of actually seeing all this occur on the levels that it's occurring on. It's corruption to the 10th power. It's out of control. It's blatant. I'm obliviated, you know, that anybody at this point could even consciously vote for Hillary Clinton. But the sad part is most people that actually support Hillary Clinton either A, don't actually know her history, or choose not to want to know her history. But that's why it's important that you guys out there all across the internet share everything from the multiple sites that have credibility, people that speak up, speak out. And again, I want to thank people, man. Like, honestly, I want to thank the people of Washington, D.C. I want to thank the tourists that were there. I mean, when we did the march, there were a lot of people in the streets. And as we were approaching where we could see congested traffic on both sides of the sidewalk, that's when it hit me. It was like, I don't know what we're about to walk into, because, you know, to show you on CNN or to show you on Fox or MSNBC or C-SPAN or something to that level, all they want to do is focus in on the violence that takes place at these kind of things. And that did not occur in Washington, D.C. No one even spoke up vocally trying to, like, abuse us by words that I saw. So I want to thank people for being rational. I want to thank people for being understanding of what freedom of speech represents. Even if you don't choose to support Donald Trump or whoever you choose, it doesn't matter. I mean, but at this point, I don't understand myself. I don't understand how anyone could support Hillary Clinton when she is at the center of what I like to refer to as political terrorism. She has taken America hostage for her own self-enrichment. She has broken multiple laws, international, federal, whatever you want to call it. She's broken multiple laws. And to say that I'm with her means that you're not for America, period. There's no way you can tell me to my face I support her because I just don't like Donald Trump. That is the most oblivious statement you could ever make in your lifetime. This is actually a pivotal point in history, and this is the most important part. We are coming to the end of the game. This is the last inning. Every swing counts. And if the FBI and Congress fails to do what they know they need to do, now wait, before I go any further, that goes back to the story about the bar. The information was put out there. The information was shared. It caught. It lit fire. It went viral. The guy that actually did not want to serve us and kick us out of the bar simply because somebody has a red hat on that says "Make America Great" was fired. Take that, multiply it, send it through the world, send it through the galaxy. Make it about corruption. If we actually band together and we actually work together, then we can actually come together for a common cause, which is for the good of all Americans. Not just some, not just good old boys, not just politics. It's time to come together, as they say, to drain the swamp. I mean, Obama has called people in Texas a swamp of crazies. This guy has insulted people in America way more than Donald Trump ever has. See, but that's how he works. That's how that division works. Is that when you use things like ridicule, right? And then you say that they're a basket of crazies and some people laugh. Then you basically just strip them of their label of Americans. You've condemned them. You've pushed them down. And you've allowed others to laugh at their expense. Well, here's the end of the joke for you folks. Donald Trump is not making jokes. The last Trump rally I went to in Sanford, Florida, that dude's message was extremely clear. Extremely clear. He's focused. He's sharp as a tack. And he's on it. So I get that you could have reservations, right? But at this stretch of the season, of the political season, I think we have to put those reservations to the side. Because if we're putting this on a balance beam, if we're putting this on a scale, Hillary Clinton's over here, and here's Trump. You know what I mean? There is no comparison. And I don't care if he's ever been a political figure before or not. I don't care if you can say he's inexperienced. What the hell was Obama? Obama was extremely experienced. I could do a better job as president. You want to know why? Because I have integrity. Because I'm loyal to this country. And I would stop corruption at all costs. There you go. I could actually be a better president than the current administration. Because, I mean, it wouldn't be hard to put together a team of winners like Trey Gowdy, you know what I mean? Mr. James and all these guys that actually give a shit about America. It wouldn't be hard to put together a team that you could trust, that you would know was actually for the common good of our country and the common good of its citizens. I don't understand what's racist about that message. I don't understand what spreads hate within that message. I don't understand how you could say to make America great again is a racist thing when no one wants Obamacare. Obamacare is a disaster. And some people, their premiums are getting ready to double. Now, they're trying to tell you on TV, through CNN and all these other conglomerates, that it's not going to work that way and everything's going to be fine, everything's great. Well, Obamacare already hurt middle-class Americans once. So anything that it cause increases, that's a bad thing. So, in a nutshell, we are at a pivot point in history. I'm riding the train, and I'm not getting off. I want to see these people be held accountable, and not just Hillary Clinton, but anyone that's actually tied to her. Anyone that spreads out that web of corruption. I don't give a shit who you are. We're gunning for you. We're gunning for you. At some point, we have to apply principles and morality morals back to politics. America's not for sale. The American people aren't for sale. So it stops here, and it stops with us. If we can literally shut down a bar in a matter of 10 minutes, then there's nothing we can't do. They gave us the internet, now they want to take it away from us through the UN, right? But it's still here, so then you have to use it. You have to be strong. You have to learn how to, remember in one of the videos I did about Trump, as I said, we need a leader that's not afraid to be called those labels. That's exactly what we need in our own people. Throw the labels to the side. You know what I mean? Like, hold yourself to a higher standard. You know what I mean? Like, when people were flipping us off and yelling on the sidewalks, my response to those people was, that's America. Embrace it. You have the freedom of expression, you have the freedom of thought, and you have the freedom of speech. I wasn't mad at them. I'm not going to play into that. I just kept marching. You know what I mean? They don't have to like Trump. I don't have to like Hillary. But I've done the research on both for the past year and a half almost. And I'm going to tell you, what I found digging about Hillary is just brutal on multiple levels. And WikiLeaks is actually exposing things I didn't know about. But I mean, the history prior to her running for this election is brutal. Brutal. I mean, the only way anyone could actually go this path of history that she has is A, you're soulless. B, you're corrupt. And C, you are just numb and dead inside. That is the only way. There is no other way. Any person that actually has a conscience, a soul, one that would actually fear repercussions of their own actions, whether it be in this life or the other, if there is somebody upstairs. You guys know I'm not religious, so I do believe there's got to be something. So maybe I'll come around one day. I don't denounce it in its entirety. It's something I struggle with, but that's neither here nor there. However, when we did the Pledge of Allegiance in March, I still said under God. I support people with their freedoms. You know what I mean? I support it. I'm okay with it. I'm not offended. I'm not butthurt. You don't have to tell me that Halloween's racist. You don't have to tell me that we can't say Merry Christmas or Happy Easter, because you're not going to get that from me. I'm still going to tell people Merry Christmas. I don't care what your religion is or where you come from. You in America, amigo. So get used to it. We have freedom here. And it's not to be shut down just because you don't agree with it. That's where we're at. Stay strong. Keep alert. Watch WikiLeaks. And just share as much as you possibly can. Well, I don't care who it's from. I'm just encouraged sharing, period. Keep the power, keep the thing going. We're in the final inning. We're going for the win. My only goal at this point is just to get America on track from its self-implosion. You know what I mean? Like we are literally self-imploding with corruption, scandals, and just evilness that's taken over. I mean, there's emails through WikiLeaks where people were actually sending it to other people, and they're like, well, what do you really know about executive orders? Because a major donor's asking. Why does a major donor need to understand how executive orders work unless they have a request? America's not for sale. Take care, everybody.